Good morning, Agents of Nothing, and welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast. We are your commanding officers. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 5, Episode 8, The Last Day.
Yeah. So, Mariah, how was your week?
It was good. Mostly just work, obviously. My boss has seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., apparently.
Ooh.
I was telling him about the podcast, and he was like, why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? That's so random.
That's exactly why.
Yeah. We've kind of cornered the market on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcasts, I feel like, in the year 2025.
Yeah.
I also just can't catch up on sleep, dude. I'm so tired.
Felt that. It is. Is everybody feeling that? Are you guys feeling that too? Is everybody just exhausted?
I also, am just getting over a sinus infection, too, so
Yeah.
that could definitely be part of it.
Certainly doesn't help.
Speaking of which, let me cough. I'm going to cut this out.
Okay. Ew, gross.
All right, well, how was your week?
My week was mostly good. This episode was interesting since it opens basically with the line, "I told you we'd survive the crash," and I was watching it on the day that I got into a minor car accident. So,
oh no,
that was interesting to say the least. The main points are that everybody's okay, and I have only minor damage, and I was really dumb, and it was all my fault. If you want to know more details, I did talk about it in our exclusive on this episode, so on the Zoom call. So, subscribe, and then you can hear more about it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this episode was written by Charla Oliver and James C. Oliver and directed by Nina Lopez Corrado.
Have we seen the Olivers before?
I feel like we have.
Okay. Are they a couple or are they related?
I don't know. If I can't relate to you, who am I
related to?
Who more any my?
Who more any my? Who more any my is that, really?
Okay, well, I was like, what was I Googling?
Also, it's cold here today. I don't know about you.
It is kind of cold here, too.
It's weird.
Married writing team and co-producers on Season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right.
So, wow, they co-produced
so maybe
7.
they weren't married at this point.
Oh.
Wow.
But they have the same last name, so I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Congratulations on your nuptials, the Olivers.
You're welcome.
Whenever it
You're
happened.
welcome. Why did I say you're welcome? Congratulations. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Let's get into this.
Let's do it. Who do we meet in this episode?
We only meet one new named character, and his name is Samuel Voss. And I do wonder if there's any relation to Alex Voss from Orange is the New Black, because they both belong in prison, so they might as well. Maybe he's her, great-great-grandchild or something.
Yeah. I don't know. There were not, any fun facts for this once again. And I didn't take very many notes either. So I'll try to interject when I can.
This will be just me.
It's the Caroline show today.
Agents of Nothing featuring prominently Caroline. Okay. So, we open, and Robin is, as they say, experiencing life like a deck of cards. That is the way that her friend Samuel Voss puts it. She responds to current May and also May from years ago as though both conversations are taking place simultaneously, which must be very confusing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And she says that she told them they would survive the crash. Which crash? Who knows? But the other surface people trust her prophecies, and they are prepared to rescue Coulson and the others the second that they touch down on the surface, because Robin said so 10 years prior, apparently. Or whenever. Then we have a May and Coulson reunion, which is great.
Yeah.
And then a May and Daisy reunion. Almost as great.
Back together.
Almost everybody. They all have a lot to catch up on, though. But first, they have to admire Fitz's work. Obviously. He really built a plane that could withstand the test of time. Everybody on the surface here is living in the Zephyr, apparently. Which is crazy. Deke is almost impressed to hear that Fitz built this thing. Apparently it would have been more impressive if Fitz was the pilot, but, being an engineer is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Voss recognizes Deke and says that he looks just like his dad. Voss says that Deke's dad is supposed to be coming back any day now. And Deke is a little worried about the way that they left things when his dad was taken, but Voss says that it was just the nature of the lighthouse and that Deke's dad is just excited to see him. What a fucked up thing to tell him now.
I know.
He didn't have to do that.
No.
That's my
That
thing.
was just like rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah, that's just giving him false hope. You didn't have to. Cassius.
If he really wanted to be like, he could have been like, yeah, your dad actually is still pretty mad at you for that.
He actually
you
hates
should probably
you.
hide when he gets here.
So Cassius is livid that the SHIELD team escaped his grasp once again. He decides to send Scary Spice up to the surface to look for Daisy and bring her back, dead or alive. And he is prepared to be even worse to the humans who helped the SHIELD team escape. Which really, very few of the humans actually helped them.
Yeah.
They really kind of did it themselves. But luckily, the only humans that actually helped the SHIELD team are all on the surface. Unlucky for everyone who is still on the lighthouse, because that sucks.
Yeah.
The power and water in the lighthouse gets turned off while Mac, Yo-Yo, and Flint are looking for a way to get to the third level, and hence Fitz's weapons. Clearly, someone didn't pay the water bill, as Yo-Yo said. The people around them start to recognize Flint and say that this is all his fault and that he should turn himself in. Like that would actually change anything, though. So Mac steps between Flint and the mob that's starting to form and tells them, "You don't want to go down this path," and all that. But he is intimidating enough that no one follows them as they back down the hallway. But yikes! Oh my god! Everybody's turning on them.
I can't imagine living in that sort of situation.
I know.
I mean, we're not far off
Yeah. We still can go outside, though. At least for now. Ooh, no, we can't. I can't think about that for too long.
Yeah, okay, let's move on.
May explains the Robin situation to Coulson, and she says that when asked why Robin had them taken from the diner, Robin said that it was the last time that they were all seen together. Coulson goes to talk to her, and Robin just says, I already told my mother everything. Which is...
As she should.
Yeah. Why would I tell you anything? You're not my mom.
I told my mom. Ask her.
Finally, Robin looks up from the picture that she's drawing and says, Philip J. Coulson. He can bring all the pieces together. And then she says, this is the day it all ends. What? He's supposed to bring the apocalypse? What does that mean? Coulson and May debrief with Daisy, and they just hope that Mac and Elena are doing okay without any backup. Coulson and May are going to keep pressing Robin for more answers, and Daisy is sent to find Fix so that he could... Oh my god, Fix. And Daisy is sent to find Fitz so that he can try to get her Kree inhibitor off so that she can be back at full power. On her way, though, she runs into Deke, of course. Deke is coming to terms with the fact that he was lied to his whole life about the surface being a death sentence. As a kid, he assumed that Robin was just some nutty old lady who didn't make any sense. He didn't realize that her predictions were real, obviously. And so he was bitter about his dad believing the crazy lady's stories and in turn getting his mom killed. And he was so bitter, in fact, that he didn't really even feel all that sad about his dad getting sent to the surface because he thought that his dad kind of deserved it to a certain extent. But now everything is different, obviously. If the crazy lady's stories are real, then his dad's theories were not the thing that got his mom killed. It was them being part of a rebellion, and he was doing what he was supposed to do, and all that. Anyway, so now he's just hoping that his dad will forgive him. Daisy offers her own estranged dad story and suggests that Deke's dad will probably just want to make up for lost time, just like hers did. And this is really sad now.
Yeah.
Daisy says that they had a rocky start, but they did get there eventually, so she believes that it's possible for Deke and his dad as well. We dug on him so much, but poor Deke.
I know. It's a terrible episode for him.
Mac, Yo-Yo, and Flint have made it to the 3rd floor, and Flint is starting to second guess if this is the best plan. He's, not sure what they're gonna do once they even find the weapons, because all his friends back on the 10th floor want to kill him now. Elena says that people looked at her differently too when she became an Inhuman, but she didn't do anything wrong, and neither did Flint. Can Elena be my friend? I feel like everybody needs a friend like Elena. She is so good at saying what people need to hear.
Yeah.
But then they see a creeper around the corner spraying smoke that they use, the kind of smoke that they use to keep the roaches away. And then he, grabs a weapon out of the wall and goes down the other side of the hallway. And, excuse me, are the Kree using Fitz's weapon? Because I'm pissed. That's bullshit. That's not for you.
I think he was just, grabbing another canister of smoke, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
But I don't know.
I was like,
No.
Does that have your name on it? I don't think so. Um, Fitzsimmons are checking out the Zephyr and very glad to be home, even if it is the wrong time, technically. They find a sciencey science thing on the wall that they know all the words for. Voss interrupts them, wondering who made it and what it is and all that, and says, like, I should have known the scientists would have questions. Duh. And Fitz says that they're partial to answers, too, which is a perfect response. Voss tells them that it's the portal that brought them through time, and Deke's father, Owen, is the one that built it. When he turned it on, they didn't think it did anything besides drain a year's worth of battery life. That's insane. How much battery do they have?
I know.
Jesus.
How do they recharge it? Is it rechargeable?
Right.
Have they just had this? How long have they been up there? How long have they been using the battery?
Right. How much battery do they have left?
I have questions.
And he has no answers, really. But then come to find out it actually worked, and now the SHIELD team is here. Voss leaves then, gives them a little privacy, and closes the door behind him. And Fitzsimmons realizes that they are finally alone. And they take full advantage, and I'm very happy for them. It was great. May and Coulson are not getting very far by just continuously throwing questions at Robin without waiting for any responses. Shocker. So they ask Enoch for help. And he says that Robin would mostly only talk to her mother when she was growing up, but sometimes she would speak to Enoch if he waited quietly for several days. Coulson and May are too impatient for that, obviously, so they give up.
Poor Robin's life is so tragic.
I know. She just is, like, confused the whole time.
Yeah, and, like, to lose your dad at that young age, and then to, like, also gain your powers at that young of an age, and just spend your whole life confused, and then the apocalypse comes, and you're stuck on a bunker in space.
Awful.
And then you get sent to the surface, and then you die.
Right. I know. Ugh. It is... We can talk about this more later, once we get to, like, the twist and everything, but... It just is, like, so crazy thinking back to, like, all that we know so far about, like, oh, there's all these stories about the SHIELD team coming to save us. And then, like, who was telling these stories? The SHIELD team!
Yeah.
They're like, one day, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I'm going to fix this in 50 years.
I think it is really interesting because, I mean, we will get to it later. I don't think you had written this part down, but, like, Yo-Yo in the past/future /flashback/flash forward.
Yeah. Very confusing.
She said that, like, they changed their names on the lighthouse.
Yeah. But then she still calls May Melinda. And there were, like, other people around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just changed their last names.
Maybe.
Anyways. Crazy. This is an insane concept. And it hurts my brain to think about. So Coulson is getting anxious about Mac and Yo-Yo not having any backup, and May is just kind of feeling useless, not being able to protect anyone because of the hole in her leg. Coulson's like, "You're pretty spry for someone who's over 100 years old. This is not the time. We can flirt later, Coulson." But he can't. He can't hold it back. Robin comes back over to them and hands May a drawing of the Zephyr with rocks, like either falling or floating around it. And May says, "Thank you, but could I have words, please?" And Robin's like, "No, thank you." And then we get a flashback to some point in Robin's childhood that was shown in the beginning. And Robin is drawing the same picture, and I actually was thinking about this scene after after I watched it. And I'm realizing now that May was not telling her, like, "Not now, Robin." She was like, "You have to show me this later. This is not the right time, in time."
Yeah. Yeah. I also, something that I noticed, it was a small detail, but like young Robin, like baby Robin essentially makes like crayon scribbles, and then young Robin draws with pencil and it's like slightly better. And then old Robin also draws with pencils and it's like very detailed and very like she's become a better artist over the course of her life, which is like obviously that would have happened.
Yeah. That's cool though. A good little thing. I don't know what to call that.
A little detail.
Little detail. Good. Anyway, okay, so Robin is drawing the same picture of the Zephyr, and May, Simmons, and Fitz are discussing just like the hopelessness of their situation, and how they can't change anything, and Fitz and Simmons have to try to build something that no one else can, even if it takes their whole life, and even if they can't finish it, they have to trust that someone else will, even though they know that it still just might not work. It might not fix anything. The person that they have to trust will fix it is, I'm guessing, Deke's dad.
Who is not born yet.
Who's not born.
I don't know if you noticed, they put like dates on some of the flashbacks.
No, I didn't.
Or flash forwards.
I didn't notice.
This particular one, I'm pretty sure, was in 2022.
Ew! No!
I know.
Oh my god! I hate that. That's terrible. I wish that you hadn't even told me. That hurts. Oh, the passage of time. Okay. So then Robin brings May the drawing of the Zephyr and says it's to remind her. And then that's when May says, "Not now."
Not now, Robin.
And so then Robin turns to Fitz and says, "You gave them everything you could," which is shocking to this past/future Fitz. And this means that they go back to their time eventually, obviously. And so I was confused, and do they have memories in the future? They do. I'm not sure what I guess she was telling him, you gave them everything you could, in terms of like, you literally froze yourself for 80 years. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows what she meant?
But I guess I'm more like confused about why that would be so shocking to him. I don't know.
I feel like maybe it just was because, like, she freaks them out so much.
Yeah.
Like, she says later, and we'll get to it, but that May is the only one who wasn't scared of her.
Right. That's true. That's true. Anyway. Okay. Mac finds his axe gun, and he's very excited. Yeah. And Flint is like, doesn't the axe make it harder to shoot? And Mac says, no, it makes it easier to chop heads off. Obviously.
Obviously.
And then Elena comes back and says that she scouted the whole floor, and the roaches are not here.
I thought of you when she said that.
I did too.
Did we not have this exact conversation the last episode?
They were here. That was me. Yeah. Relnexian. I got it. Eventually. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, that's me. We are the same. And then we see that the Kree left the elevator shaft open, and the screams are starting to reach them now, which is very ominous and terrible. And the Kree sent the roaches to the other floors to eat people. Fuck.
It's like there are so many less painful and like traumatizing ways for them to have like killed everyone.
Right. They could have just turned off the
obviously, air. Yeah. Well, maybe, God, that would be a terrible way to go, too.
Yeah. But I feel like we've discussed that before, and it was like, you just would, like, go to sleep, apparently.
Yeah, you would, like, pass out.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
There's no good way.
No. I'm just, like, releasing a bunch of alien monsters on everybody. That's, like, super fucked.
Yeah. Ugh. Gross. Okay. So May and Coulson are talking to Voss about storming the lighthouse, and Voss is very excited to finally get the chance to fight back against the Kree. He says that he's been waiting for this day his whole life. And while choosing her weapon, May finds a piece of the monolith that brought them there. And while they want to stay focused on the situation at hand, Coulson says that if they can find more pieces of it, then they can get back to their own time. So he immediately goes to find Fitzsimmons, obviously.
I thought it was so funny because May and Coulson are like talking over each other about this piece of the piece of the monolith. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, maybe Robin can help us find the other pieces. And Voss says, well, I don't want to retch in anyone's rations, but... And I thought that was so funny. I don't want to retch in anyone's rations.
That's so good. I love that colloquial sayings like that still exist, but they're just like adjusted for the times.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So Simmons is doing like an ultrasound of Daisy's ear. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a sonographer, but I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure ultrasounds, there's like too much bone there. You couldn't see it. I don't know. Anyway, at any rate, Simmons determines that Daisy's inhibitor is attached to a nerve that's too important and delicate, and that without a neurosurgeon and the proper tools, trying to remove it could leave Daisy paralyzed from the neck down, so they decide to leave it. Oh, so then she doesn't even have her powers anyway, so even if they go back, she couldn't have destroyed the world? She didn't have her powers.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Wow. I'm just realizing that right now. Anyway, so then Coulson brings in the piece of the monolith, and Fitz realizes that the shard can fit in the machine on the wall. Deke looks very suspicious and leaves quietly, while Fitz continues that they need to find more of the monolith. They agree that Daisy knew Robin for the longest, so she should try to get more information from her. Aw, she actually knew her for the shortest amount of time, really.
I know. I was thinking that, and I was thinking, like, I understand that Robin experiences life differently than most people, but if I were like 100-year-old lady on the surface of the destroyed Earth, and people were trying to come and talk to me, I would not respond to someone that I knew when I was 3.
Right.
Like, I'm 100 years old. What are you talking about?
Do I know you? You knew me when I was 3? I didn't even know me when I was 3. That's pretty funny. Okay, so the trio in the lighthouse save a lady from a roach. It's the same lady that was trying to start the mob that wanted to turn Flint in earlier. So fuck her, but Flint is too good to bring that up right now. Once Mac shoots the limbs off the roach and then chops off the thing's head, Flint's starting to get the shotgun axe a little bit better.
Yeah, he gets the appeal.
Mac gets an idea and says that they need to find the air filtration system. They're going to send the smoke through and kill the roaches by choking them. And they are taking back the 10th floor.
Hell yeah.
Flashback when you met me at the lighthouse. Young Robin keeps saying Flint's name while following behind May, which is
so the reason the reason that the two young Robins look so alike is because they're played by real life sisters.
Oh.
So I think that there were 2 different Robins. I'm not sure about this episode, but like obviously the Robin that we saw before is younger than this Robin in this episode.
Right.
But they look so alike I almost didn't notice. And that's why. They're sisters.
Wow. Interesting. I'm just thinking about, like, me and my sister. Because she is, like, 10 years older than me. But I don't think that we look similar enough. that anyone...
To play the same person?
Yeah.
Maybe if you dyed your hair brown or if she dyed her hair ginger.
Yeah. Would have to, the coloring certainly would be an obstacle for sure. Interesting to think about. Okay. Anyway, so in the flashback, Elena appears behind them with a shotgun axe. And May tries to get her to calm down and have faith. May says, we have no choice but to work with them. We need their water filtration system, and among other things. But Elena says that it's not worth their freedom. Robin says, don't worry, Flint will help them. But Elena says that Flint won't be born for another 50 years. So they do remember. Robin says that Mac will help Flint. And Elena says, Mac is gone. Oh no. I'm very scared for Mac. Always. We were afraid that Mac was going to die last season too.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Poor Mac. He's always just hanging by a thread.
He's too good. That's why.
Yeah. So Deke confronts Voss. He says that his father never would have left the shard somewhere unprotected. It was his mother's, and then after she was killed, his father always kept it on him. Like, Deke wasn't even allowed to keep it when his father was sent to the surface because it was too important to his mother. So there is no way that Owen would have left for days or weeks without taking it with him. And then Voss punches Deke in the face. Which, like, I'm not saying that he didn't. Someone needed to punch Deke in the face. But not like this. Voss didn't.
This one he didn't deserve.
Yeah. Flint and Mac find the vents for the whole floor, and even though the power was turned off, Fitz made sure to pack what they needed. So Mac turns on the air system, and they throw a few cans of smoke into the vent. Their plan is to push all of the roaches into one room where Elena is waiting for them. She yo-yos around the room and places devices, some kind of devices, on each...
Splinter bombs.
Oh, thank you. I literally never remember what the tech is. She places a splinter bomb on each La Cucaracha, and then they all disintegrate. Woo! We did it! And Flint gets a nickname. His name is Pebbles now. Daisy goes to Robin, and Robin immediately thanks her. I'm still not sure why yet.
Daisy is the one who got the little Robin carving to Robin.
Oh, right. So Daisy apologizes for not doing more for her because she promised Robin's dad that she would protect her. Robin says that her mother always protected her. And then she says that there's something that she was supposed to tell her mother. That makes me so sad. So sad now. Daisy tries to ask more questions, prompt her to continue, but Robin kind of gets lost in time again and then gets scared. She says that time is running out. Yikes. And then Voss appears, so Daisy leaves Robin to rest. And Daisy says that it's hard to be patient when the last thing that Robin predicted was their imminent doom. Voss says that he has something that may help. Like a liar.
Oh.
Fitz and Simmons figure out something sciencey. And Fitz goes to tell Coulson immediately, except that the door is locked. And I really loved that initially he thinks that Simmons locked it so that they could, like, get frisky again. But she didn't lock it, so god damn it. May and Coulson hear Fitz screaming for them, but there are people guarding the door. And they say, if you don't put up a fight, you don't have to die. Like, you guys are talking to arguably the most suicidal, self-sacrificial people that have ever lived. Like, what are you talking about? But this is when I realized that everybody is separated, and I'm scared. Voss is still talking to Daisy, and she swears that she's not powerful enough to break the planet, even at full power. But Voss shows her the video that they all think proves it. And it's surveillance footage of Daisy getting off a Quinjet and then going into a building. This is the last time that that Quake is seen alive. And then there's, like, this unheard of gigantic earthquake right at that point, and then the world breaks, I guess. I guess at that moment. Is it, like, all at once, or I don't know. It feels like if the world, like, broke apart all at one moment, people would not have had time to get to the lighthouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think from the way that it was showing in the flashbacks and stuff, especially the very first scene that they showed, like, I think they were saying something along the lines of, like, oh, another city just went down, or, like...
Okay. So it was a bit more gradual.
Like, it's spreading.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of thing.
Okay. Regardless, This is very circumstantial evidence. Like, she was there and she went into that building and then there was an earthquake. It must have been her. Like, who knows what the fuck, who or what else was in that building? There is no telling.
I just have to say, it's so hard not to spoil it, because watching this, knowing everything that happens and how it all actually goes down is genuinely killing me.
Oh.
Like, this is such a good season and I want to tell you everything so bad and I can't.
You're doing a good job, because I'm very confused. Okay. So then, we have another flashback, or flash forward, and Fitz is pulling Robin into a room with May and saying that he can't take her predictions anymore. She keeps seeing people's death and she can't stop from saying something about it. He says that she even told him how Simmons dies, and like, how is he supposed to live with that? May tries to get him to calm down and just keep working to try and change their fate, but he says that there's no point because it can't be changed. Robin keeps trying to change it and she can't. Voss tried to change it and he couldn't. Daisy saw the aftermath of the destruction herself and still destroyed the world, apparently, allegedly. And he says that they just keep living this loop and nothing ever changes it. And he yells, and every time he yells, I get goosebumps. And I don't know if that's more Fitz or just yelling in general. But then old Robin says it's too late to change it. And then young Robin says, Daisy, look out, he's got a knife. That is the worst existence. Oh my God.
Yeah.
To be like at the wrong point in time in your head is freaky. I can't like wrap my brain around it.
Yeah. It's wild.
Daisy is telling Voss that she wants to try and change her fate, but Voss has a different idea. He says that the only way to prevent it from happening is to keep her from ever going back to her own time. Ugh! So he pulls out a knife, and then 2 more people come in from the shadows. So Daisy fights off the extras easily. And then Robin comes out of her room behind them and whispers, "This is the last day." And then Voss says that he can't have Robin give Daisy the answers, so then he stabs her instead. There's so many things happening. Coulson and May get done with their opponents and rush to help Daisy. Coulson gets there first, and then they subdue Voss, and May immediately goes to Robin, who's laying on her bedroom floor. And Robin calls May Mom and says that she always promised to be there at the end. Oh my God! What the fuck? Flashback Robin calls out for her mom from her bed. And May responds. May is her mom now. Robin can't sleep, so May goes over and sits on the bed with her. Robin can't stop seeing how people die, even May. And May says that it's alright. May says it's alright because she's not as scared as everyone else is of Robin's powers. She says that she knows Robin will be there when May dies, just like May will be there when Robin dies. She says that they're special because they never have to say goodbye. Because they're in a time loop. Flashback Robin says that she's supposed to tell May something, but May says it's not time yet. She says that when they're back on the Zephyr, then Robin will need to remind May who they are, and that May takes care of her after her mother dies. And then Robin needs to tell May her vision of how they save the world and how they get back to their own time. So then future Robin tells May that the world needs her more than she knows. And with her dying breath, she tells May her vision, that she's seen how they save the world. She just hasn't lived it yet. This scene, like, the feeling that I had during this scene is so indescribable. I felt like physical sensations inside my body. That was crazy. Oh my God. That was crazy. I literally don't have any other words. Back on the lighthouse, Flint, Mac, and Elena let the other people know that they're safe from the roaches now. Mac says that it's time to stop letting Cassius pit them against each other. So then Elena grabs a thing, and then they all line up to have their metrics removed. Viva la revolution! Daisy finds and frees Deke from where Voss locked him up. She thought that Voss would have killed him, but he says, I guess Voss didn't want any more of my family's blood on his hands. Which, like, he ain't worried about spilling anybody else's.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, we love to dunk on Deke, but oh my God, this was an awful episode for him. Like, he's essentially losing his dad twice. I can't even... Yeah. I can only imagine the devastation that he must be feeling right now. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So then Deke and the rest of the SHIELD team all meet up together, and they're all feeling pretty hopeless after losing Robin. And especially because, as Fitz said, to them a couple of days ago, Robin was a little girl, and now she's a 100-year-old woman and she's dead.
Yeah.
Simmons says humans aren't supposed to see the beginning and end of a life like this, specifically in the span of a few days. And Coulson says it's a reminder of how short life is. And I get where he was coming from on that.
But it wasn't very short for Robin.
This is like a little bit shorter than what life is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Daisy is debating the merits of just giving up on going home and living out their days on the Zephyr so that she can't go back and destroy the world, which is basically just what Voss was trying to do. But May joins them again and announces that she knows what they're supposed to do, that Robin told her how to save the world and get them back, and she just needs to find Flint. Flint, the savior!
Flint. I love that when we first met Flint, like that very first episode that we saw him very briefly, you were like, does he come back, or is that just to show that Tess was kind?
I was like, they wouldn't have told us his name for no reason. Okay. So now it's time for the post-content content. Scary Spice lands on the crashed trawler, and through her helmet camera, Cassius sees that the SHIELD team survived. He tells her to follow their trail and to show no mercy to anybody else that she encounters who has survived on the surface. Oh, fuck!
Oh, okay. Overall thoughts?
What an insane episode. This is crazy. Time loops. Mama May, for real. Actually. A Fitzsimmons makeout session. Alluding to a second one. This was insane. This was crazy.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
What an episode.
What an episode.
All right.
We're gearing up for something big. This is... Wow.
Yep, we're about halfway through this season. All right, so that concludes our episode on season 5, episode 8, The Last Day.
I'm terrified.
Next time, we'll be covering season 5, episode 9, Best Laid Plans, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye, love you.